Good morning. My name is David Saras. Thank you for joining me today. The title of my dissertation is Evaluating the Reliability of Multi-Layered Backup Strategies for Ransomware Defense, a design science approach. In this presentation, I will explain the motivation behind my research, outline the design and the implementation of the solution, present the results, discuss the implications, and conclude with the recommendation of the future work. Going to the second slide, this research was motivated by a clear challenge in modern cybersecurity. Attackers are no longer satisfied with encrypting data. They also target recovery mechanisms such as backups. This means traditional backup strategies are increasingly vulnerable. To address this, I developed a three-layered defense framework. The first layer is an offline air-gapped backup that cannot be reached by automated process. The second layer is immutable cloud backups using Amazon S3 object lock-in compliance mode, which prevents any modification or deletion of files during specified detention period. The third layer is lightweight Python-based file integrity monitoring system that uses such a 256 action to detect any changes to critical files before or after backup execution. The main contribution of this work is creation and empirical testing of an affordable, reproducible framework that can be deployed in small to medium-sized enterprises. The framework ensures data availability. This preserves file integrity and adds an early detection capability to prevent compromised files from entering backup archives. We all know the ransomware has evolved into major threat that combines encryption, data theft, and deliberate attempts to destroy recovery points. Even the organization with well-maintained backup schedules can lose the ability to recover if the backups are not properly isolated, immutable, and verified for the integrity. This situation highlights a pressing need for robust layered backup defense. Backups are the last line of defense. If they are compromised, the organization may have other choice that to pay the ransom. My research aims to ensure the backup remains secure and usable even under the direct attack. Central research question I sought to answer was how reliable are multi-layered backup strategies in defending against modern ransomware attacks, particularly with regarding to recovery integrity and operational continuity. To answer this, I defined three key objectives. First one is to investigate the literature and current threat models that describe how ransomware evades or destroys backup systems. The second one is to implement three-phase backup strategies combining air-gap, immutable cloud backups, and the file integrity monitoring. The third to evaluate the effectiveness each layer individually as well as the combined effect of three layers working together in realistic simulated attack scenarios. My literature review covered the years from 2022 to 2025 and reviewed important trends. Modern ransomware combinations often exfiltrate sensitive data before encryption and employ what is known as embedded encryption, where recovery is deliberately sabotaged. Different strategies recommended in recent studies include immutable storage, air-gapped backups, machine learning-assisted encryption systems, and file systems capable of rolling back changes. However, most of the studies examine a single technique in solution. There is a clear research gap in affordable, integrated solution that combines these methods in a way that is particularly for small organizations. My work is designed to fill this gap. I adopt a design science research methodology for this study. The approach focused on building an artifact. In this case, a practically working defense framework. I tested it in a realistic scenarios and refined it based on the results. This process began with building a three-layer backup system followed by simulated ransomware attacks. I then observed the system's behavior, refined the configuration where necessary, and repeated the process. The violation focused on three key aspects. The first one is integrity. I checked that restored files match the origin hash values. The second one is availability. I confirmed that backups could still be accessed after an attack. And the final one is timelessness. By measuring how quickly the file integrity monitor detect changes. Architecture has three independent but complementary layers. The air-gapped backup is a physically or logically discrete copy of the data is only connected during controlled synchronization. The AWS S3 object lock provides a tamper-proof cloud backup that cannot be modified or deleted during a set iteration period. The file integrity monitoring layer continuously scans for changes. It uses SHA 250 hashes to detect modification, renaming, or deleting the files. The threat model assumes that attacker can encrypt, modify, or delete files in an attempt to erase backups. However, it also assumes that attacker does not have a physical access to the offline backups, and the AWS account itself is not completely compromised during the retention period. In the first phase, I created an offline backup that simulates a removable storage device. The data from the live environment was synchronized to this offline repository, which was then disconnected. A simulated ransomware attack was performed by modifying or encrypting live files. And after the attack, the offline backup was reconnected and used to restore the files. All restored files match the original hash values. That confirms air-gapped backup remained untouched during the attack. Second phase was involved creating a secure, immutable backup in Amazon S3. The bucket was configured with the object locked in compliance mode, and each file was uploaded with a retention until date. During the testing, I attempted to overwrite and delete files within the retention window, but simulating an attack with available credentials. All such attempts were blocked by AWS until the retention period expired. This confirms immutability was enforced as intended. In third phase, I created a Python-based file integrated monitoring system. This tool calculated a baseline SHA 250 hash for each file in the monitored directory. At regular intervals, it recalculated the hashes and compared them to the previous stored baseline. If a mismatch was detected or file was renamed or deleted, the system generated an alert within seconds. This early warning capability is vital for preventing corrupted files from being included in a backup sets. When I tested individually, each layer met its objectives. The air-gapped backup prevented any attack from breaching the offline copy, and all the restoration were successful and verified by hash comparisons. The immutable S3 backup locked all overwrite and delete attempts during the detention period. The file integrity monitoring tool detected file changes, renames, and deletions, typically within 3 seconds. This gives us ample time for intervention before backups could be corrupted. When deployed together, three layers form a robust defense in-depth system. File integrity monitor provided early detection of anomalies. The immutable cloud backup ensures recovery points could not be tampered with. AirGap provided a file cleaning fallback. Even if the both live environment and the copy were compromised, this combination means that there is no single point of failure, and different stages of ransomware attack chain are addressed by different layers. While the results are strong, there are trade-offs and limitations. The air-gapped backup process completely depends on human processors. They have to connect and disconnect the storage device at the right times. The immutable S3 backup relies on the security of AWS account. While the files cannot be changed during detention, account compromise could still pose a risk. The file entry monitor is efficient for small to medium files. May require application to handle large volumes of rapidly changing data. Addressing these limitations could involve automating air-gap operations, strengthening cloud account governance, and enhancing the scalability of monitoring too. Conclusion: this study demonstrates that a layered backup strategy can significantly improve resilience against ransomware, providing both proactive detection and assured recovery. This approach is affordable, reproducible, and well suited for the organization with limited resources. The future work would include automating the offline backup process, integrating AI-driven anomaly detection into monitoring layer, testing the framework in hybrid and multi-cloud environments, and connecting into automated incident response system to further reduce the recovery. These are the key references that inform my research, covering ransomware behavior, backup hardening techniques, file integrity monitoring, and integrated defense strategies. They provide both a current foundation and practical insights that guided design and evolution of framework. Thank you for listening to me. I'm happy to take your questions. Thank you.